You've probably been at the grocery store and seen on a carton of orange juice or on a package of food, and it'll say non-GMO. And this raises a few questions. The first question being, what's a GMO? Other questions like, are GMOs safe? How do GMOs affect the environment? And how are GMOs even made? The first one, what's a GMO? GMO stands for genetically modified organism. And a genetically modified organism is an organism that has select genes modified in their DNA to get a certain outcome in the plant. Is genetic modification new? Not necessarily. For many years, farmers have done selective breeding, which is pretty similar to genetic modification. And selective breeding is simply just crossbreeding plants that have favorable traits. And so that's essentially the same thing with genetic modification, but now scientists will take those traits and insert those genes directly into the new plant. Examples of genetic modification in plants. Today we see resistance in pesticides, resistance to harsh weather such as drought, better taste, healthier food, and plants that will produce more than they normally would. Okay. And are GMOs safe? There have been no health hazards found in genetically modified organisms with any substance. Many scares of genetic modification are actually unfounded. And one of the bigger issues that people have with genetically modified foods is that recently the population of people with allergies, food allergies, has grown from 3.4% to 5.1%. And a lot of people thought that was due to genetically modified foods, but there has been no link found based on a study by Harvard University. Okay, and then the dark cloud of GMOs. So a lot of the bad rap that genetically modified organisms have comes from the Monsanto company. And even if you don't know who that is, you probably know their product, Roundup. So the Monsanto company engineers plants to be resistant to Roundup, which in turn lets farmers use more and lets them sell more. And so this in turn affects the environment negatively. Roundup has a negative impact on soil health and then as well on wildlife, because it'll restrict the animals from getting the micronutrients that they could usually get in their food. And then the big thing with this is Monsanto's focusing their genetic studies just on that region that help sell more Roundup, rather than help with general human health, making food healthier, and making it taste better, anything like that. And all of the negative impacts are not caused by genetic modification, they're caused by Roundup. To follow up, while it may always be engineered to serve the people, while it may not always be engineered to serve the people, genetic modification can make food taste better, it can make it healthier, and make crops produce more. There are no studies to back findings that genetic modification has any negative impact so far. And genetically modified food may sound scary, but really it's very similar to selective breeding, which has been done by farmers for generations.